Good morning, friends. I'm Ben Hayes, pastor of First Baptist Church, Dadeville, Alabama, bringing you our thought for the day on this Tuesday morning, December the 1st. Can you believe it? It's already the first day of December, and Christmas is just 24 and a half days away. I'm so excited about that, looking forward to the Christmas season and all that goes along with it, and I hope that you are too. And I hope that you've also started your day off well with a little bit of the Word and some prayer and spending some time with the Father, because there's no better way to start your day than to do that. And as we continue our journey through the book of Proverbs, I invite you to take out your Bible and look with me at Proverbs 24 once again. We're just going to go down to the very next verse in verses 3 and 4 and talk again about some of the themes that Solomon has used throughout the book of Proverbs. And that's one of the wonderful things about Proverbs, is that you have multiple themes that are dealt with time and time again. It takes us back to the Jewish way of teaching, and that is precept upon precept, principle upon principle. You do it over and over again, building from one step to the next. And as Solomon has put together this wonderful book of wise sayings, it does just that. And one of the great things that he does is he focuses on wisdom and the benefit of wisdom. And not just wisdom, but also knowledge. But he differentiates between the two. We talked about that a good bit early on as we were journeying through the book of Proverbs. But just to refresh your memory, knowledge is facts, things that we learn through books, through our world around us. Other people invest those things into our lives. But wisdom is taking those facts and doing something for the glory of God. It is practical application of the knowledge with an understanding that all of it is so that we can do what God has called us to do. And so as we look at verses 3 and 4 of Proverbs 24, wise King Solomon says, through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge, the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. And I want you to understand what he's doing here. He's not necessarily talking about a physical house, but what he's telling us is that through wisdom, the structure is there for the kind of life that pleases God. Um, the ability to do what God has created us to do comes through wisdom, taking that knowledge and understanding that God has given to us through whatever source it may come, and applying that to our everyday lives. Through wisdom, a house is built. By understanding, it is established. And what he's talking about here is that when we truly recognize who God is and understand that he's the creator of the universe, that he is the one who spoke this universe into existence, and that he's the one who formed us, knitted us together in our mother's womb, that he is the one that watches over us and is directing all things to his final ultimate end. When we have that kind of understanding, then our family, our lives, everything about us is established. In other words, it is made stronger. It is placed on a solid foundation. It is stable. See, that's one of the problems in our world today, is that so many people follow after this teaching or that teaching. And if it sounds good, if this teacher sounds better than that teacher, if he's more charismatic, then we will forget everything we've already learned and we will follow after that teacher. And what Solomon wants us to do is to have understanding through the wisdom that God gives us in his word. It's like the parable that Jesus taught us about the wise and the foolish builder. The wise man builds his house upon the rock, and when the storms of life comes, it stands firm. But the foolish man builds his house, his life, upon the shifting sands of culture, the shifting sands of the education system, the shifting sands of political intrigue. And every time when we build our houses, our lives on those types of unstable foundations, when the storms of life come, it will not survive. We cannot continue to do the things that we've always done because we have no foundation, no support, no strength. So here's what he says. Through wisdom, a house is built, By understanding, it's established. And by knowledge, the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. I don't know if you're like my wife, but many times when we have moved into a new house, she has wanted to put in new furniture, new appliances. And that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And this is kind of what Solomon is talking about here. By knowledge, the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. When we have that wisdom that builds our life around the things of God, that understanding that stabilizes it, then it's the knowledge that comes in those moments that fills our living room with great furniture, that gives us the best appliances that we could possibly have, that blesses our lives with the good things that God has always promised that He wanted to fill our lives with. And that's the wonderful promises of God, is that He's the giver of all good gifts. Doesn't mean that He wants to make you wealthy. Doesn't mean He wants to put you in a 20-room mansion. It means that He's going to supply you with all the good things that will cause your life to be blessed and to give you peace and joy. I hope that you'll think about that today. The wisdom, the understanding, and the knowledge, those three things will give you the life that pleases God and pleases you as well. I want you to have a great day today, and I'll see you tomorrow.